As many of you know, I am a professional recruiter and I do about 5 to 9 interviews a day. So I know a lot about what it takes to get hired for a job, but today I thought it would be fun to flip the narrative and talk about my personal worst interview experience when I was going to get a job a couple of years ago. So let's start by setting the scene. This was way back in 2023. I was going into my last year of college. As I had graduated high school in 2020, I decided that I actually wanted to take my first semester of college off. So I was going into my last year in 2023, but I was trying really hard to still graduate on time, which realistically was actually just graduating in 3.5 years because I had taken that first semester off. So I was taking a lot of summer classes. The class that I needed to take for this last year was my internship class, where I needed to work a certain amount of hours that would transfer over as credits because I was a business student. They needed to know that I had real business experience. So I was applying to everything. I did not care what it was. I needed this job for this summer, not only because it was required, but because I had actually signed up to take double the amount of credits that the normal student was for the internship class. So I needed double the amount of hours because I was trying to get as many credits as possible so that I could still graduate with the rest of my class. So I didn't have the leisure that all the other students had of being able to find an internship like halfway through the summer because I needed to start immediately so that I could rack up as many hours as possible, rack up my credits, and still graduate. I had applied and was offered an interview at a venue that is very big and popular here in San Diego. A lot of big artists play there, a lot of sports teams play there, just a lot of things are happening there. And the business admin internship actually looked pretty cool. It was going to be full-time, so 40 hours a week, which was perfect. It was also paid $20 an hour, which is a lot of money for an internship. And then for it to be full-time, I was just gonna be making a lot of money. So I was very interested in this. And it was going to be a rotating basis where every week I was going to be working a different part of the business admin operations for this venue. So one week I was going to be in sales, working with the merchandise. One week I was going to be in HR, helping hire other people. One week I was going to be in like management and I was going to be helping manage the ticket sales and the operations. It was going to be really cool. I was actually really interested in it. So when I get the email from the hiring manager, I'm super excited. And I'm not going to name names. I don't want anybody looking him up on LinkedIn. But let's just say it was a very frat boy kind of guy who emailed me. I would say he was very much like in this event venue for like the sporting events. He was probably very interested in. That was just the vibe that he was giving off, very much like a dude's dude. And he emailed me asking for a phone call interview. Very important to remember, he emailed me asking for the interview. I go into this phone call and the guy starts off by saying,
you know what, like, I'm just a really chill guy. Like, I just want this to be a chill environment, like no stressful questions. I just want to get to know you.
So I'm like, okay, sounds good to me. Like, I want it to be chill too. I don't want to be stressed out. I was prepared for it to be intense, but obviously we'd all prefer for our hiring managers to be interviewing us in a casual, friendly, conversational way. So I was totally fine with that. And he was particularly interested in one of my previous work experiences, which was as a caretaker at a senior care community. And I was working on the floor with the end of dementia patients. So these were seniors who were very much at the end of life, were very much struggling with their dementia diagnosis and needed quite a bit of assistance throughout their daily lives. And he had been talking to me about the various benefits and like perks of working at this type of venue. And one of the types of events that happens at this venue, my boyfriend really likes. He's really into. So I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if me working here would be able to assist my boyfriend in getting into more of these events. So he asks if I have any questions about the benefits. And I asked him, I said, is there any way that like I could be offered like an employee discount for a ticket if I wanted to attend one of the events that I'll be working? And he's like chuckled a little bit and he was like,
wow, that's kind of a bold question, but yeah, actually I do help my employees out and I want you to enjoy your time here as well.
So I was like, cool. After that interview ended, about I would say a week later, I got another email from him Remember, he's emailing me and he invites me to the second round of interviews, which is going to be a Zoom call, a video. So we're going from just a phone to a video. So now we're gonna be able to see each other. We get on to the Zoom call. This man does not say hello. This man does not say, how are you? The first thing this man says when he logs onto the Zoom call and he sees me is,
You don't look like what I was expecting you to look like as a caretaker.
like, what? Why are you talking about what I look like? Why are you commenting on my appearance? Like, that makes me so uncomfortable. I just don't understand. And what does a caretaker look like? What does he even mean by that? Like, if you told me caretaker, I do not have a stereotype in my head of what a caretaker is supposed to look like. So why would I not look like one? And then what do I do look like? You know, I just had so many questions. It totally threw me off. Like, it was definitely an intrusive thought that he had, the fact that he didn't even say hi beforehand. And I just have the feeling that, and I could be wrong, but I just have the feeling that he wasn't commenting on what the men he was interviewing looked like. You know, like I had a feeling that was just special for me as a woman. And then this man does not ask me a single question. And remember, this is supposed to be round 2 of the interviews. First of all, he comments on what I look like. Then he goes directly into,
I was thinking about what you said on the phone call, asking if we would get you an employee discount, and I just want to let you know that was a really dumb question. If you're going to be an intern for us, I'm allowed to call you out on the dumb intern things you do, and that was a dumb intern thing. And I told our HR manager about it too, and she also thinks that that was a dumb intern thing to do.
I was okay with bold. Like, I'm asking about a benefit, I'm asking about a perk. I get that that's a little forward. You called me bold in the last call, that's fine. But dumb? You're gonna call me names? And then you're gonna talk to other people in the company and tell them how dumb you think I am? And then tell me that they agree with you? Who is this man? And this is supposed to be an interview. Anyway, the call ends. I kid you not, he spent like 15 minutes talking about how dumb I was, does not ask a single question, and then offers me the job. I was like, what? Were we just on the same call? Because I thought I was so dumb that you would never want to work with me and that everyone else in your company thinks I'm so dumb too. I was just really not wanting to take the job at that point. But again, I needed an internship so badly because I needed to graduate and I hadn't even interviewed anywhere else. So I was really tempted to take this internship just because I needed it, not because I wanted it anymore, and not because I had any faith that I was gonna be treated respectfully. Instead of just immediately taking the position, I'm starting to ask more questions. I wanna learn more about the job and just more about this guy in general. Like, is this just a bad day that he's having, or is this just how he is and how he's gonna continue to treat me? Because this is not what I want in a boss. So I'm asking him specifically about the parking. Like I said, this is a big venue, it's very popular, and it's downtown. And some of these events are gonna go really late at night that I'm gonna be working. So I was a little hesitant about what that was gonna look like as far as parking and commute, because one, it's kind of far away from me, and then two, where am I gonna park that I have to walk to my car at night as a young girl? He didn't really have a great answer for me. He said that there's some parking garages that I could pay to park in, or there is employee parking, but it was like a membership fee and it was super expensive. And then what's the point of getting paid $20 an hour if all of that is gonna go just to the parking to even show up at the job? So I was really not sure about it, especially because the commute was really far, and I'm talking to him about this and I'm expressing my concerns. And he tells me that there's actually a hiring event happening that Saturday and I could go down and meet him if I was unsure. I could see what the commute was like, see what the parking situation was like, and then he would also take me on a tour of the venue. He would introduce me to the other staff that I would be working with, and I could just get a better idea of what a day in the life would look like working that job, which I thought was a fantastic idea. That was the exact thing that I needed to know if this was the right position for me or not. So Saturday comes and he has been emailing me all morning. He's being very communicative, which I really appreciated. He's saying you can park here or here, this parking garage is gonna cost this much, that parking garage is gonna cost that much, I recommend this one. He's saying come between this hour and this hour, I'll have time to give you the tour and introduce you to everybody else. There's gonna be a big group of people, just go to the front, tell them I'm looking for you. He's really communicating with me, he's giving me all the details, and it actually was reassuring. So I drive down there. He knows exactly what time. I emailed him that, hey, I'm heading out. I'm gonna be there soon. And he knows that the commute is a problem for me, or at least a concern. And I've talked to him about how far it is. So he should know exactly what time I'm arriving. And then when I do arrive, I email him again. And I say, hey, just arrived, walking into the venue. Of course, he was right. There was a huge crowd of people. I just walk to the front and I tell the person taking everyone's name that I am here to meet this man and that he should be expecting me. And then the person in the front made this comment like, oh, like the boss wants to see you. Like, I guess you're really important. Which was interesting to me because I didn't realize that this man was the boss. I thought that he was just like a hiring manager. Like I thought he just worked in HR among other people, but the fact that he was the boss, making a comment about what I look like and telling me that I'm dumb and telling other people, his employees, that I'm dumb, not just his peers, but his employees, it started to put a little doubt in my mind that this was the type of work environment that I wanted to be in. Because it's one thing if one employee is like that, but if that is the boss, if that is the tone that the boss is setting, something to pay attention to. When he comes to see me, I go to shake his hand, he turns around and starts walking. And I didn't shake his hand. He didn't even say hello. Again, this man is not good at greetings, but I just follow him because what else am I supposed to do? And yeah, I go up this elevator with him. He takes me to this like office setting and then he sits down at a table. Again, has not said a word to me yet, doesn't invite me to sit down across from him, but what else am I gonna do? So I sit down in front of him and he goes,
yeah, so I don't really have time right now to take you on a tour or introduce you to anyone, but like, let me know if you have any questions.
I was like, you told me to come at this time, on this day, for the tour. What do you mean you don't have time? Like, that's why I'm here. And you know that I was concerned about the commute. You know I drove all the way here and you just wasted my time. The woman was too stunned to speak. I didn't say anything. I was just like, no, I'm fine, thank you though. And I just walked out. Clearly at this point, I'm not interested in the job anymore. I don't want to be working in an environment where a guy is going to be treating me like that, much less the boss treating me like that, much less a boss who is telling all of his employees to also view me in the same way that he is viewing me. So I know for sure I don't want the job, but I don't know for sure yet if I'm not going to take it. Because again, I need to graduate. He emails me the official job offer and I haven't accepted it and I haven't accepted it and I haven't accepted it. Days are going on because I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Clearly I'm not gonna be happy here, but I need it. So I get another email from him and he's saying like, hey, you haven't accepted the job offer in this long, let's talk about it. So he gives me a call and I don't get a single word and suddenly he's Mr. Chatterbox. And he's telling me about how this is such an amazing opportunity and hundreds of people applied and he only chose 4 and I was so lucky I was the 4th that he chose because he was debating between offering it to other people, but he liked me, which again, I'm like, no, you didn't. You think I'm dumb, but whatever. I'd hate to be a person he didn't like. But he liked me and I should really consider this job opportunity because where else am I gonna get this experience? And it's so competitive to be offered this job. In fact, of the 4 people, the other 3 have already accepted it. They've already started a group chat that I'm not a part of. And one of them's from Pennsylvania, one of them's from Indiana, and then another one is from Northern California. So people are coming from all over for this opportunity. And I'm like right there for it. And it would be so silly of me to not accept it. He's going on and on and on. And it's not convincing me whatsoever because it's just like, if you wanted me to have this job, you would have treated me in a way where I would have felt good about taking the job. You know, I don't care that these other people are in a group chat without me. I care that you think I'm dumb. I care that you're commenting on what I look like and talking to other people about these things. Another week goes by and I have 1 day left before I need to make my decision again because I'm not going to be getting another extension and the deadline is coming up. And I decide I need to stay true to myself. I need to do what feels right to me, what feels comfortable with me. And as long as I'm putting that energy out into the universe, I'm gonna be rewarded with an opportunity that is right for me. And I'm not going to settle for something that I don't feel respected in, and my time is also not respected in. So I end up emailing him back. I email him back. Keep in mind, he's the only person that I've been communicating with, okay? I email this man back and I say, hey, I am really sorry. I'm not gonna take the job, blah, blah, blah. I'm very polite about it. I don't get a response from him. I get a response from his assistant, who has never once contacted me. I've never contacted her. She emails me back the next day, and guess what she says? She says, "Hi Tessa, so-and-so, the boss, has decided to withdraw your offer. We're no longer considering you for this position." I rejected you. You don't get to reject me back. Like, I feel like I just tried to break up with somebody and then he like played an Uno reverse card and he's like, "No, I break up with you." Like, I already rejected the offer. And now you're just like, your ego, this man's ego was too small to accept that I didn't want his position, that this dumb girl didn't want to accept his position, that he had to withdraw my offer so that no one else in the company knew that I rejected him. Like, are you kidding me? And I think that moment when I got the email back from his assistant, because he can't even tell me that himself, when I get the email back from his assistant, after all the communication I've had with him, it just proved to me so much that I made the right decision, because clearly I was not respected here. He did not care about me. He had an ego, and it really seemed like he had an agenda. And not only that, but of course later, I did get another interview somewhere. Again, started with a phone call, then went to an in-person interview, and I got offered that position. Also paid $20 an hour, so it worked out. And I ended up loving that job. I'm actually still there today at the same company. Obviously, I'm not an intern yet anymore. I've already been promoted twice. So I'm actually coming up for my 3rd promotion in a couple of months. The people there love me. They all treat me with respect. I love them. I just think it's such the perfect fit for me. And this taught me that not only were the red flags of the original venue internship saying, "Do not enter," like, "Don't come to this job," but they were also saying, like, "Go over there." It wasn't just the closing of this door, but it was truly like the opening of another. And I just think how different my life would be and where I'm at today would be if I had settled for that job that didn't feel right to me. And I'm so grateful that I didn't. I'm so grateful that I trusted my gut and I did only the things that felt right to me, and I accepted only the positions that I felt comfortable in, where I felt like I could be myself and that I felt respected in. And that was truly, truly what this lesson taught me. So I'm glad that it happened, even though I had to be called names and called dumb and had my appearance commented on and felt uncomfortable and my time wasted. All of that was worth it because I was taught this lesson and I was also placed exactly where I was supposed to be because I'm so happy in my current job and it all worked out. If you made it this far in the video, I want you to comment what the most shocking part of that story was to you, because I think that all of it was so ridiculous that I couldn't help but start laugh while I was telling it to you guys. So I really want to hear what you thought was the most interesting part. And then I also want to hear if you have any questions about interviews that you have coming up. Like I said, I am a professional recruiter. I do about 5 to 9 interviews a day, so I know a lot about what recruiters are looking for because it's what I'm looking for, and I have a lot of tips to share. So if you have any specific questions or videos that you would like me to do deep dives in, please comment them below and I will take a look at that. But otherwise, just subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!